Good morning, welcome to the full day of eating. I'm going to take you guys through everything I eat in a day leading up to my competition prep. So definitely the cutting diet, since I'm 1 week out from my show, to the date actually. It's a Saturday show, it's Friday the week before, so next week's peak week. But this is it. You'll see it's low carb. Every morning's pretty much the same breakfast. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of peanut butter in there if I have an extra serving of fats for today, which today I did. And then threw that into 1 serving of cream of rice, which is all the carbs for today. So I definitely savor this thing, man. Like I look forward to it when I'm doing my fasted cardio in the morning, and I know I get some peanut butter, and you guys saw me throw a little bit of plant-based protein powder in there. Gives the cream of rice a little bit of flavor. Of course, it's a little extra protein, a little more calories. But instead of doing 14 ounces of egg whites, I do about 8 to 10 ounces of my egg whites, so I can get a little more flavor and protein out of the cream of rice. And then, just a little bit of ketchup. And threw some mushrooms in the egg whites just to add a little more volume, make the meal a little more enjoyable. And this is by far my favorite meal of the day. So I'm gonna eat this before it gets too cold, and I'll catch you guys at the next meal. Alright, so breakfast was excellent, and before I move on to meal number 2, which I'm gonna cook, gotta take my daily vitamins, supplements, minerals, all the stuff that keeps my body running pretty smooth. So I did just release a video a couple weeks back that breaks down a lot of these and what each one does. So I'm not gonna go through them right now. Just want to focus more on food today. So if you want to reference that video will be linked in the description. But for now, a quick overview of everything. So we got some greens, zinc, magnesium. A lot of this really is just to help promote recovery, restfulness. All very small benefits. All very small benefits, but things that over time add up. Especially like I talked about. If you're taking things that are going to help your restfulness, so your sleep improves, and then when your sleep improves, your recovery improves, and it's kind of just a positive cycle. Then I have some extra things like bromelain, which is an enzyme that helps digest protein, especially because I'm eating so much protein. You guys will notice it's like 30 to 40 grams every meal. And then, of course, being in Ohio, always double up on my vitamin D3, and just taking it with water. Pretty much do mostly water for everything. Like I'll do some BCAAs here and there if I just need a little flavor outside of the gym. And making sure I'm getting in enough water is crucial too, especially as I'm trying to lean out. number 2, cooked up 99% lean ground turkey and doing a little bit of onion in there too, just to add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of texture, and just a little more volume. Also, why I added the lettuce. I'm gonna do some more substantial vegetables after I train, since this is my pre-workout meal. But yeah, that cooks down a little bit, so I cooked the full pound of turkey, and then I'm doing just a little bit under half, so just about 6 ounces. If you notice, even at a week out, it's nice my coach isn't extremely particular about eating protein portions like it's to the decimal of an ounce, as long as it's pretty close, because you got to think your body still needs to digest it. But obviously fats and carbs I'm watching a little bit more strict. And then this is a game changer right here. These GQ sauces. This won't be the last of this you see today. This might take the cake. So they're these sugar-free barbecue sauces and this specific flavor, hickory, man. Oh, something about it. The original's pretty good, but the hickory just has a little bit of smokiness to it. So then you get a meal that's looking like this. So the days I have more carbs, this meal, I usually throw in a cup and a half of rice, because I still like to get most of my carbs in between my training sessions, because I'm doing so much. I'm doing 45 minutes fasted cardio in the morning, and then I've got a big weightlifting session, then another 45 minutes post-workout cardio. So I like to kind of refuel in between and carb up a little bit before I train. So I'll usually have the rest of my carbs with this meal if it's a high carb day, but it's not just the cream of rice today. But man, I'm gonna enjoy this. Man, I'll tell you what, prep makes you appreciate just the little flavors in food, because for the most part, you're eating so plain. And if you guys notice, I like to cook as many meals as I can, fresh. It takes a little bit more time, but it's pretty much the same thing every day. Plus or minus some carbs and fats here or there, so it goes pretty quick, but it makes it more enjoyable. I don't know, at least for me on prep, I try to have a system where you have those little things to look forward to, because then it's easier to push a lot harder. Like you're getting up doing fasted cardio, it's tough no matter what, but when in the back of your mind you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna cook a good breakfast, at least for what I can cook. It makes things a little more enjoyable during the process, because it's long. It's day after day, week after week. Even now, being so close to the show, you just mentally, there's no pause. So it's nice to have these little things throughout the day where, I'm willing to put in the extra effort versus, I could prep a lot of this ahead of time, pack it in the fridge. That would be more time efficient, but I like doing this. I like cooking, giving myself meals to look forward to. It's good. Mike and I were talking about how good some chicken curry sounds.
Yeah.
Like with the fresh naan bread. That, man, some sushi. I know I'll probably do a couple donuts, maybe a cookie or two, like post show. But I mean, I don't know. When I've competed, I never went too crazy with that. I'll have a little bit, and then, man, I just want some like solid food, a burger, sushi, some Indian food. But hey, right now this is tasting pretty good. So I'm gonna finish this guy up, give it about 45 minutes or so to digest, and then take some pre-workout, head to the gym, and I'm gonna catch up with you guys right when I'm wrapping up at the gym for meal number 3 today. I don't think there's anything else to say. I'm just really hungry.
Okay, well, here they come. Hungry, athletic Coopers.
long session. Man, 45 minutes of post-workout cardio just takes your soul, man. But I split it up, so I did 25 on the Stairmaster and then finished with 20 on the incline treadmill. And it's good. Shoulders and triceps. Now for the third meal of the day, which is gonna be a protein shake. And I need it. Put some life back in me. Oh man. Luckily it's not too cold today. A lot of times we running out here freezing, but man. So during the workout, I just sip on some intra BCAAs and EAAs. It's good for recovery, preserve some muscle. Because I'm training for so long, like usually with cardio and posing, it's a lot of days over 3 hours, just with this session. But we do about a cup and a half unsweetened vanilla almond milk, so just 45 calories there, right? And then we'll do 2.5 scoops of blessed plant-based protein. So you guys saw me do the cookie crunch earlier and the cream of rice, which is phenomenal. This one, oh man, this one's so good. It's cinnamon churro, but in my mind, man, because it mixes up nice and thick. So in my mind, when I'm drinking this guy, it's like man, it's like cinnamon cheesecake, like cinnamon roll cheesecake at this point. Just like a nice good consistency. Got to put the creatine in, and then we'll do a little more cinnamon churro. So we'll do like about 6 grams of creatine. And this is key, one of the best supplements in terms of getting your money's worth, because that's gonna help put more ATP and energy into the muscle. So when you're training, your lifts are a little bit stronger, and then because of that, you hold a little more water in your muscles, so you're a little more full once the creatine is loaded into your system. And they say it takes about a week or so. I never have done a loading phase with creatine. I just take my 5 gram serving, which is like a 7 gram scoop. So you guys see that. So that is the shake. Nothing too fancy. Believe me, man. Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, thickens up, right? So check this. We'll show him, Mike. Look at that, man. You can see that consistency, yeah. This right here. Yeah, that's good. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's like cinnamon cheesecake. But I'll have the proteins, pre-workout, and BCAAs I take are all linked in the description. So it's all from EHP Labs. Bless is just their plant-based line. And if you guys want to shop some, it's phenomenal, especially the protein. Like I said, there's a little discount code for you. It does help me out too. So appreciate you guys using that, and get you guys some good supplements to have too. All right, I think that's good. So I'm gonna down this, get warm, and I'll see you guys back at home for meal number 4. So this is meal 4, 6 ounces of tilapia, measured out from what I cooked, and threw it on a nice healthy bed of a little bit of lettuce and a good amount of spinach in there, getting some dark greens, knocking it down with some water. And yeah, you guys saw me, so I don't use really any excess salt with any of my meals. So for this seasoning, I just did a little bit of garlic and a little bit of onion powder. And this is a pretty good one. For whatever reason, the even though tilapia is really low fat, it's it's got like a good natural moisture to it, I guess. So it kind of coats the salad I got going on here, almost like a dressing. I don't know. You start to get a little creative at this point, at this point in prep, but it's pretty good. No complaints at all. Especially when you cook it fresh. This is one of those things where I could easily prep a lot of this tilapia in the air fryer because it's quick. I put it in about 10 minutes at 400. Just make sure the internal temperature reaches 145 degrees, so it's cooked all the way through. You know, so I could prep, man, pounds of this and put it in the refrigerator and let it all sit in a Tupperware container where you get that gelatinous residue build up at the bottom, and peel it out and put it in the microwave and heat it up, and then, you know, or just eat it cold. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like sometimes, you know, if you're busy, I've been there where that's just the most reasonable and reliable method, and you know, you just do what you got to do. But if you have the time to cook it fresh, man, that's definitely the way to go. And that air fryer is nice because it's a lot less messy than cooking on the stovetop. You don't get the whole apartment doesn't really smell like fish. It does a little bit, but it's not too overpowering. Rizo's got his bone over there. So I'm gonna finish this meal up. It's a little bit later than normal. It's just past 8 o'clock. And normally I'm getting this meal down by 6 or so, like you know, an hour after I get back from the gym. But I had to run to the grocery store, get some things for Rizo. It's been a while since I filmed and set up shots, so that took a little minute, but this is fun. It's a little more intimate, you know, just you guys and me. I don't know, man. Maybe we'll do more this style. For meal number 6, looks a little familiar. I just heated up another 6 ounces of the ground turkey and onion that I prepared earlier today, and then I threw in about half a cup of mushroom too, just to add a little volume. And they cook down pretty good, but it gives it just a little bit of extra flavor too. And then threw it on to just some plain lettuce, just to add in some volume, especially since the carbs are so low today. So we'll drizzle a little bit of our hickory G Hughes on there, and this is gonna be a perfect meal 5. So again, got some more water, hitting like at least 1.5 gallons every day, and that's about it. I'm gonna enjoy this meal. Honestly, I'm not gonna eat it now. I'm gonna go sit on my couch and watch a little something with my dog. So yeah, I'll catch you guys for meal 6, which is actually a little bit different and a fun one to cook if you're into cooking like that. But before I let you go, I do have to shout out Young LA on this crew neck. This is the first time I wore it. This releases Tuesday the 14th, so I don't know when this video is coming out. It might be just after the release, but it is available along with the cap sleeve tee you guys saw me wearing a little bit earlier today, the one I trained in, and I think I ate the last meal in too. But yeah, I've been working with these guys for a few months now, and they do quite a few product drops, at least one a month. So if you want to stay a little bit more in tune with what they release, because it does sell out kind of quickly, I'm usually posting on my Instagram around their release dates. But yeah, they got some sick stuff. I'm a big collar guy, so when a collar is nice and thick, fits the neck nice and snug, I'm pretty happy. So anyway, link below. Also code MERC for that if you guys do end up shopping. Save a little bit and it helps me out. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch some TV. You ready for meal number 6, Rizo? Yeah. final 6th meal of the day, and a little bit of labor of love for this one, but it was worth it. So this is a top sirloin cut, one of the leanest cuts of beef you can get. If you notice, before I cooked it, there's not a lot of marbling in it, so there's not a lot of fat. So it's a little easy to make, really tough. But the recipe I kind of adapted from like a little Gordon Ramsay YouTube video. Just search how that man cooks some steaks. You know, he does butter and a little bit more. I'm just using the avocado spray oil I've been using all day, and did a little bit of onion powder right when the steaks first started cooking. Then about halfway through, I threw some garlic on. So the key there is you want the pan to be hot from the start. Once it smokes a little bit, put on your olive oil, avocado oil, whatever it is. Put the steaks on nice and hot. You get that sear on both sides. So a minute. I think I did that twice on both sides, a minute. Then kind of seared the edges just to seal in some of the flavors and juices, and put my garlic in about halfway, and then lowered the heat a little bit. Did a few more times, minute on both sides of the steak, and then the key to really sealing the juice is letting it rest. So I think they say let it rest about a minimum of 5 minutes or so. So that's what I did, and this is the result, man. A nice, tender, lean cut of steak. And I don't do a lot of steak in the diet. This is not an everyday thing. In fact, right now I'm only eating it once a week, so it's kind of part of the reason I chose to film today. So I wanted to show you guys how I cook this, but man, is it good. And then I try not to do too much garlic. It's more for the flavor on the outside, because I notice if I eat a lot, I'll get bloated and gassy, and you know that's the last thing you want, is your stomach starting to distend when you're trying to pose or anything. But yeah, this is hitting the spot. All right, well, it's just past 10:30 now. I'm gonna have a little moment finishing off this steak. Thank you guys for watching. I do a lot of cooking day to day, but it's something I enjoy in between work and training and everything. And the important thing is the system works for me. So the key here is finding a system that works for you. You don't have to cook every meal. You can prep in bulk. There's some great meal prep services that I even use from time to time for like shrimp and chicken, just so I'm not always having to cook as much. But the days that are a little slower and I can't cook, man, I love doing it, because it tastes definitely that much better when you're cooking it fresh. Even still, this diet, I'd say it's a little more typical bodybuilder diet. Not a lot of variation outside of the few different seasonings I use. So I'm not going day to day really tracking the calories. Obviously my coach monitors all that based on what he's sending me week to week. But if you are interested in the macro breakdown, this is what it's looking like. I haven't even done the numbers yet, so they'll be up on the screen here. And yeah, this is really getting me down to the leanness that I want to be at. Competition wise, obviously there's a ton of training on top of this, a lot of cardio. But for me, especially a low carb diet like this, I really start to get off those last few percentages of fat down to stage leanness. And yeah, man, just one more week, cruise right in. I think the next time we film, I might be in Orlando or maybe headed to Orlando for the competition. So I'm pretty excited. If you can't tell, I'm salivating over this. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you're at. And that's my full day of eating right now on the cut. But what do I know? I'm just Merc.